The Lakers just keep piling up the losses. They're currently sitting in ninth place of the West, just 2.5 games ahead of the Portland Trail Blazers, who are 11th. Seems such a long time ago that the Lakers were considered one of the top teams contending for the NBA championship. In fact, before the season's start, some odds makers had them as favorites to win the NBA championship this year, even though the team lost pretty much all its core players. Even though it was so clear from the very beginning that this is a very poorly constructed roster. Hey guys, hope you're doing well. This is Purple Prince, and let's just see what the hell happened with the Los Angeles Lakers. After winning the bubble championships in 2020, the Lakers decided that no, we don't want our team back. They didn't resign Rajon Rondo, even though he helped them tremendously during the playoffs. They didn't retain their center duo in JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard, even though it worked so well during the regular season. On paper, the moves they did make look great. They got two Sixth Man of the Year candidates in Montrezl Harrell and Dennis Schroeder. They got some defense and shooting in Wesley Matthews. The team really seemed good and like the one that can possibly repeat for an NBA championship. That didn't work, mostly due to injuries in my opinion. Sure, certain signings didn't work out. Dennis Schroeder wasn't quite playing up to the expectations. Montrezl Harrell wasn't one of Vogel's favorite players, but still the team was good. They finished number 1 in defensive rating. So what do you do when something doesn't work out because of injuries? You just tear the whole team down and make all the worst moves you can possibly make. Look, LeBron is still the best player on the Lakers. Everyone expected AD to be that, but he's not. Whether it was the injuries or lack of interest or effort, he's just not. And from the very beginning of LeBron's career, there's been one formula that has worked better than anything else. You surround LeBron with players who can shoot and who can defend, and you preferably get someone who can also dictate the pace, handle the ball a bit to let LeBron play off the ball so he doesn't get as tired. The guy is in his late 30s. Instead of trusting the formula of the last 15 years, the Lakers decided to go superstar, to go big. First, instead of trading for one of the best shooters in the league in Buddy Hield, they decided, hey, let's just gut our team to get the triple-double machine in Russell Westbrook. That sounds like such a great idea. A guy who really hasn't won without Durant, a guy who's getting older, is losing his athleticism, and a guy who nobody really wanted besides the Los Angeles Lakers. Oh, and let's not forget that he can shoot and can defend. That just seems like a perfect fit, right? Never mind the fact that the Lakers traded away their best defensive pieces in Kyle Kuzma and KCP. Two guys who were solid defenders and actually could shoot. And Montrezl Harrell, who probably wouldn't have stayed with the Lakers, but he had a contract that could easily be flipped in another deal. Oh, and they also gave away a first-round pick. It's not like the Lakers have plenty of them as it is, but yeah, just give them away for a guy who doesn't fit and now gets booed by the Lakers fans themselves. They didn't resign Alex Caruso, the heart and soul of their team, a guy who defended like crazy and had great chemistry with LeBron. They didn't sign DeMar DeRozan, who wanted to be a Laker and now instead is killing it with the Chicago Bulls. They signed Kendrick Nunn, who hasn't played yet because of a bone bruise. Okay, that thing you couldn't really predict, so I'll let them slip on this one. They signed Dwight Howard. That was a good move. He never should have left in the first place. But then, to shore up your center rotation, you signed DeAndre Jordan, who for his whole career had only his athleticism, and now when it's gone, he's just a useless big body who's a negative presence on the court. Never mind that he was so bad in Brooklyn that even his great friend KD signed off on him leaving the Nets. Whatever though, he's gone now. He passed his way out of the Lakers with a full court dart. And now, it seems like the Philadelphia 76ers are the front runners to sign him. How can you be a front runner if there are no runners behind you? That's interesting. Anyways, they replaced their good wing defenders with Melo and Ariza. I like Melo signing. He's actually been pretty good for the Lakers, but he will never play any defense for you. He's been a one-trick pony for his whole career, so we have to surround him with some defenders to mask his flaws, yet they didn't. Trevor Ariza is about to be 37 years old. He's not the defender he was in his prime. There's only one really good thing the Lakers did in free agency, and that was signing Malik Monk. He's been awesome for them. Other than that, it's been a miss after a miss after a miss. Sure, the injuries have played a big role in this season's poor results. The players themselves haven't performed up to expectations, like Talen Horton-Tucker for example. But even with everyone fully healthy, this team was never gonna work. Westbrook is a point guard, and he can handle the ball, but he makes bad decisions constantly, turns over the ball constantly, can't shoot, and can't defend. So there's your LeBron replacement, aka dig yourself a hole you can't get out of, not to mention his albatross of a contract that nobody wants to pay, so you can't get rid of him either. The young wings were replaced with old wings that either couldn't defend at any point of their careers or can't anymore because they're just too old. And some sparks, players who hustled and gave their effort, were replaced with some one-year stopgap guys. This is just an epitome of a poorly constructed NBA team. I follow the Lakers constantly. I'm watching the Lakers Nation YouTube channel, shout out to them by the way. I'm watching James Worthy, a Laker great, talk after the game, and it's just sad. It's just sad that the Lakers are this bad. There's absolutely no game, not one game where you can say, oh, it's a non-question, the Lakers will win this game, let's just move on. They struggle with bad teams, lose to them often, to teams that have no business of winning, and their only goal is to be as bad as they can so they can get high draft picks. Their only good moments have come against Utah Jazz, and the way the Jazz have played, you really wonder how good of a moment it really is. The Jazz might just be frauds themselves. They're not that good as well. And the worst part is, what's the future outlook? They don't have cap space, they have players nobody wants, they don't have draft picks, so even losing doesn't help for their future. LeBron is in the last years of his career. He's still playing great, but how much longer? AD is an injury waiting to happen. They're just done. They're toast. And it's all because this is the worst constructed team ever. They never took into account the injury risks, the needs of a LeBron-led team which is shooting and defense. They just went for feel-good stories and star power. So many former All-Stars on their team, yet they're old and can't really help anymore. So that's your 2021-22 Lakers team. Enjoy it, because this might just be the worst constructed team ever. But what do you think, guys? Is this the team that really is the worst of the worst? Can it improve, maybe even go far in the playoffs? Is this the lowest point of the Lakers season? Please leave your comment down below. Don't forget to leave a like for the video, subscribe to the channel, and enable bell notifications to get notified when I upload. It certainly helps me. I don't know if it helps the Lakers, but maybe. Who knows? Might as well try it. Thank you very much for watching. This is Purple Prince, and I'm out.